technological skills development. Adhere to prescribed medicine from health facilities. Hello, good evening. It's a delight to have you join us in the studios of GBC24 and Ghana Television for News Hour. My name is Micheline Taka. You're welcome. Finland has launched a program known as Code Bus Africa, in which she will equip the youth of at least 10 African countries with skills in technology. The first in the series of the program kick-started in Ghana, where at a workshop in Accra, the Finnish authorities introduced the youth to coding systems.
The Scandinavian country of Finland is marking its centenary anniversary this year. Ghana is one of the countries earmarked to benefit from an assistance program to mark this special time in the history of Finland. The ambassador of Finland accredited to Ghana, Pejo Somela Chaudhry, said her country wants to empower the youth of Africa in technology to be able to understand the new systems driving the global economy.
Africa are involved, but this whole thing, and it will take 3 months, it's a very long journey for the Finnish coders that will be going around Africa and working with the local partners in different countries. But one very important thing here in Ghana is that this is the country where the whole project is launched.
Code Bus Africa brings together African and Finnish innovators in technology and education to organize creative coding workshops for youth in the 10 African countries. The project aims to inspire youth to discover and make use of technology in their lives. It especially empowers girls to explore technology's possibility for the future. Finland has an example in one Henna Tinisma and her team of researchers who are studying the genetic causes of diseases characterized by progressive stiffness and spasticity of the lower limbs. Her work is part of the paradigm shift that is going on in the clinical world today.
The reason why we are passionate is because we believe that technology is going to be like transforming the continent, and whether it's Ghana or the countries, and since we're talking about a global international project, it also makes sense. So that's why at MES we train people to code and to develop technology solutions, and you might be one of them in the future.
The other African countries to benefit from technology assistance from Finland are Ethiopia, Kenya, Mozambique, Namibia and Nigeria. Others are South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda and Zambia. Napoleon Atukitu reporting.
Students of the St. John Bosco and Star Junior High Schools in Tema have been sensitized on the abuse and failure to adhere to prescribed medicines such as antibiotics due to an increase globally of drug-resistant strain of bacteria, parasites, viruses, fungi, among others. Public health experts are rising up to task to educate all and sundry about the need to adhere to the prescriptions given them by the doctor or health personnel.
The human body is susceptible to infections caused by microbes such as bacteria, parasites, fungi, virus, among others. Although not all bacteria are harmful, antibiotics is often administered to fight infections caused by bacteria. However, due to the failure to adhere to the prescription of antibiotics and the abuse of it, treatment of infections are not effective. Due to the increasing incidence globally of drug-resistant bacteria, now considered a public health threat, public health experts caution that if not mitigated, it will lead to the recurrence of the era prior to the discovery of antibiotics. The Center for Science and Health Communication has been at the forefront of creating awareness on drug-resistant microbes, also known as antimicrobial resistant strain. The center has sensitized students of the St. John Bosco and Star Junior High Schools in the Tema metropolis on antimicrobial resistance.
Suddenly, we are all medical doctors. We can dispense medicines to ourselves. Now, this particular attitude is what is leading to what we call resistance. The same medicine that was able to heal, for example, headache, is no longer capable of healing that particular headache. Why? Because we are misusing the antibiotics. If I have stomach ache and I don't visit my healthcare provider, I go to the room or I go to the pharmacy and tell them I want collodium or I want that, and I buy it. I am doing self-medication.
The Assistant Director of Finance and Administration of the Tema Education Directorate, Mr. Gabriel Kote, described the initiative taken by the Center for Science and Health Communication as insightful and will help save lives.
Resistant bacteria pose a great threat to treatment throughout the world. When bacteria develop resistance, they become difficult to destroy. I believe this sensitization with our students and PTA will go a long way to help have a healthy lifestyle.
Poor infection control, inadequate sanitary conditions, and inappropriate food handling also encourage the spread of antimicrobial resistance. The students who hitherto had no idea of the implications of defaulting on their medication resolved to the spreading of the word on a behavioral change towards the administration of medications.
Are all illness caused by microbes?
You are likely to come into full glare of filth in the busy commercial centers of Accra, especially on weekends. In this disturbing trend, you find traders selling near heaped garbage and kept streets and pedestrians trading carefully to avoid contact with uncollected refuse. Perhaps environmental sanitation issues sparked the debate whether there should be a return of the once feared tankers or sanitary inspectors. Shirley Annan has more.
Accra at the weekend. The streets sleep, devoid of the traffic, and there is less human activity, but in filth. According to some statistics, Accra generates about 2,200 tons of solid waste every day. However, only about 1,800 tons are collected daily, leaving a deficit of 400 tons uncollected. In a city where cholera has periodically broken out with some staggering fatalities, it calls for concern that environmental sanitation remains a difficulty. A supervisor at the Coastal and Water Bodies Unit, which is under the Youth Employment Agency, Mr. Emmanuel Lama, explains the cause of Accra's weekend filth.
The market women dump their leftovers here. Sometimes too, the mini refuse collectors dump their rubbish in town.
The stench that emanates from gutters at these areas is best appreciated on a hot sunny day. At the railways and Kanishi markets, traders sit in the filth unconcerned, perhaps oblivious of the hazards the situation poses. It is the consumer who might bear the brunt from buying items sold within insanitary conditions. Some traders blamed city authorities for neglecting their duty after collecting tolls to be used for keeping markets and their surroundings clean.
The blame is partly on the AMA toll collectors. They have to ensure that the refuse here is collected.
Others blamed residents and mini refuse collectors for dumping the refuse in the markets.
Residents from surrounding communities dump their refuse here at dawn. This is why the market is dirty at the weekend. We can't find anyone to clear the filth.
Mind you, this is not any form of street adornment. There are heaps of rubbish lined up along one stretch of the road to the other. It is suspected that the rubbish is dumped along the streets at midnight. Numerous campaigns about keeping a clean environment appear to have fallen on deaf ears. Clearing filth on weekends gained brief attention on National Sanitation Days, which have gone on the quiet. There are calls for a return to the old order where sanitation officers known as tankasi or a 24-hour sanitation task force enforced regulations to ensure cleanliness. Shelley Annan for GBC24, Accra.
Following the perennial shortage of blood at the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, GBC Radio Central, in partnership with MTN Ghana Foundation, has donated blood to the hospital. The exercise, which took place at the Agri Memorial Zion Senior High School in Cape Coast, was initiated by MTN Ghana Foundation on the theme Save a Life project.
Save lives in critical conditions. However, both the National Blood Bank and some regional hospitals have been complaining about perennial shortage of blood. As at the time of the exercise, only 80 pints of blood was left at the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. It is due to situations like this that the MTN Ghana Foundation instituted the annual blood donation exercise to help stock blood banks in hospitals across the country. This year's exercise, which fell on Valentine's Day, was done in partnership with GBC's Radio Central in Cape Coast. According to the managements of Radio Central and MTN, the exercise forms part of their corporate social responsibility to the people in the region.
We invite people to come over to enroll as voluntary donors. They shouldn't wait till an emergency situation happens before they go around looking for blood, paying people to donate for them. When you donate blood, we are going to give you a donor certificate, and this entitles you for a blood. Maybe a friend needs blood at Kolebu, Konfanochi. When you have a donor card and you send it to the blood bank, they will credit you with blood. They will ask you to come and lie down to donate blood. So it's ever so good to donate blood. You shouldn't wait till an emergency situation happens.
By 2 p.m., approximately half of the 400 units of blood estimated was realized. Although there were many people, especially students of Agri Memorial School, waiting in the queue. Some of them spoke with GBC24 about what motivated them to donate blood.
It has been my aim from JHS to donate a blood. So like last year when they came to the school, I was very happy and I came to donate one. And this year too, I'm also donating it because I know I'm saving a life.
So I want to save a life. I don't like the way people are dying, so I just wanted to save a life.
I'm here just to save a life.
The head of the medical team and the regional blood organizer, Martin Ampofo, and the human resource officer for MTN Ghana Foundation, responsible for Central and Western regions, Madam Regina Akalfie, explained the outcome.
The purpose for which we organize this event is that there has been a clarion call by the blood bank that there's shortage of blood almost every time. They need about 250,000 pints of blood every year, but it's only 66% that they have at any point in time.
This is News Hour live on your own news channel. There's more news coming up. Do stay. In sports, Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko have dropped points in their respective Week 2 matches in the Ghana Premier League. Here are the results. Accra Hearts 0, Mediama 0, Brekum Chelsea 0, Kotoko 0, Elmina Sharks 0, Ediana Stars 1, Sogakope Wafa 2, Ebusua Dwarf 0, Dansuman Liberty 2, Inter Allies 0, Obuase Ashgold 3, Olympics 1. On the lighter side of the news, the first satirical movie on corruption is about to hit the screens. The movie is expected to lead an anti-corruption drive on the African continent by setting people thinking on the need to halt the canker into society. The cast and crew who have begun the production confirmed with ex-President Jerry John Rawlings in recognition of his lifelong anti-corruption stance. 'Nito' Bibinito reports.
The head of the medical team and the regional blood organizer, Martin Ampofo, and the human resource officer for MTN Ghana Foundation, responsible for Central and Western regions, Madam Regina Akalfie, explained the outcome. The purpose for which we organize this event is that
It's a star-studded collaboration between Ghanaian and Nigerian actors led by Pete Edochie, an acclaimed Shakespeare of Africa. The subtle, satirical movie is a frontal attack on corruption and seeks to set the African thinking about how to weed out the menace. According to Transparency International, a global anti-corruption watchdog, of the 10 most corrupt countries in the world, 6 are said to be in sub-Saharan Africa. Recently, the Nigerian Economic and Financial Crimes Commission raided the Kaduna home of Andrew Yakubu, Nigeria's former boss of its Petroleum Commission, only to retrieve some $9.8 million and 3 billion naira believed to be state resources. In 2002, a study conducted in Africa revealed that the continent loses some $150 billion to corruption annually. The need to purge the continent of corruption and corruptible tendencies through movies has become necessary for 2 reasons. Political and legal solutions to corruption has yielded no results, and since many young people tend to pick moral lessons from movies, perhaps that is the way to turn the situation around. But leader of the cast and crew, Pete Edochie, thinks politicians could be better guarded by what they fear most.
God forgives. He gives you a long rope. Bible. The local deities don't. The moment you go against them, they kill you. If you swear that you're not going to take a cover from the government and you do, you'll be cut down. So if we must employ culture to fight corruption, I am recommending that we start by making the government officials swear by the local deities, and I think you must have some very strong ones in Ghana.
Ex-President Jerry John Rawlings was, however, unhappy with some developments under the watch of an anti-corruption crusader, President Akufo-Addo.
There's some character with some tendencies, that you cannot praise. Virtue and vice. And his government got rid of him so fast. I was so relieved that they knew about some of them and they are working on some of them. But I think in less than 24 hours or so, the instruction to get rid of that guy was stood down. The guy was reinstated. And I'm using this opportunity to express, misgivings, to express how I feel and how I felt about that issue. Whose political influence brought itself to bear on the appointing authority. And that is why we must pray for the president to stay the course.
Inspired by ex-President Rawlings' long-standing anti-corruption stance, Kofa's Production and Miracle Waves International, producers of the movie, decided to weave the movie's title around him.
Realizing the work that you have done and the theme of this movie, we have titled it Greedy Bastards.
Studded production features both Gollywood and Kumawood stars like Nanama McBrown, Kofin Kansa Luluane, Fanny Face, KSM, Jocelyn Dumas, Calibos, and high-life musician Pat Thomas in The Greedy Bastards. Nto Bibini Nto, GBC24, Accra.
Kenyan-born Amsterdam gospel artist Evelyn Amor thrilled the audience who thronged the ICGC Mercy Temple at Rage with her soothing music. The event was dubbed the Aiden Experience.
Patrons on the night received ministration from Mercy Saki and Ike Nano. Dinah Hobson, Willie and Mike also had the audience on their feet with their performance. New Okai got the audience singing to his popular song Mokobe. The main act on the night was performed by Evelyn Amu. Here are the voices of some patrons of the event.
It was actually awesome, actually powerful. The presence of God was around. The power of God was seen. The glory of God was in its manifestation. And the program is just an awesome one.
Tonight we have felt the presence of God. I stood most of the time. I enjoyed the various musicians and it was just praise and worship. And so it has been the evening experience. The experience was great. It's full of absolute worship and praise. So I think I'm blessed.
I was so blessed and I wish you were here to enjoy your blessings.
If you weren't here tonight, you missed a lot. I was blessed. What about you?
An acrobatic team of the Philippines in Asia has been thrilling global audiences with spectacular displays fit for the Guinness Book of Record. The look on faces of judges in one competition revealed that they were in utter shock to see such a brilliant performance. Here are SF's other performance.
Redomil Gold Plus. Spraying technique. Spray your cocoa pods with Redomil Gold Plus to protect your harvest from black pod. To get a good harvest, you should use Redomil Gold Plus every 4 weeks from the start of the rainy season until September. The best time to spray Redomil Gold Plus is early in the morning before 11 a.m. Later in the day, the change in wind direction may blow the Redomil Gold Plus away from the pods and pollute the person spraying. Spray the Redomil Gold Plus onto the cocoa pods. Spray each pod from the top of the tree to the bottom of the tree. When you have sprayed all the pods on the tree, move on to the next tree until you have sprayed all the trees on your farm. Remember to use 150-gram sachet of Redomil Gold Plus per each tankful of water and 6 50-gram sachet of Redomil Gold Plus for every acre of your cocoa farm.
Keep watching the weather report right here only on GTV. Do have a good night.
That's it for news. Thanks so much. George Sapo is standing by with Talking Point. Enjoy the program.